is not a lack of faith.
Thank you. What can faith leaders do? One, we can talk about it from the pulpit, that you need both therapy and Jesus, and then one is not separate from the other. That even if you go throughout the biblical text, you will find that there are those who engage in what we would now call different modalities of therapy. When you think about King Saul and how he had that spirit that was tormenting him, he had to go through music therapy in order to be able to deal with what he was going through. When you look at Elijah, when he went running off because he was depressed, he was isolated, he then had to have a companion that came and sat with him so that he could journey up out of there. When you think of Jesus, the one who we say that we follow, the one who, that's the core of our religion, our faith. He had to go off by himself. He had to cry out to God. And then he had to be poured into. So there are those figures in the Bible that if we compare it to today's time, what they went through was the biblical, I'm losing my words. Start again. They are the biblical equivalent of therapy. And so we gotta make that real. We gotta stop telling people just to pray. Because if prayer was enough, then Jesus would have been able to come out of it on his own. If prayer was enough, then David would not have been going through dissociative personalities when he was going. Because have y'all ever read the Psalms? Have y'all really read the Psalms? David will start off the Psalms and say, Lord, smite my enemies, take them out of here. I don't like these people, I don't want nothing to do with them. And then turn around and say, but God, I love you. But everything is great. So if prayer was enough, then they would not have needed additional supports. The other thing that we can do is, and I like to say, not only can God work through prayer and therapy, but we can say, I'm willing to help you take the next step to achieve it. What resources do you already have in your church? Do you recognize therapists in your church? Do you recognize psychiatrists? Do you recognize mental health practitioners? Do you recognize July as National Minority Mental Health Month? More than just saying, oh, it's Minority Mental Health, so we're going to wear a cute t-shirt. No, but actually creating spaces for it. Do you know that October is National Depression Month? I saw somebody looking at me crazy, like, really? And that's next Wednesday. Do we acknowledge that in our churches? Do we tell people that, listen, you can still have faith and be sad, you can be blessed and stressed, you can be anointed and disappointed, and it doesn't make you any less of a believer if you are? Because if we just simply look at those who God called over the course of our biblical text, none of them were perfect. They all had something that they were dealing with, and they all had a moment where somebody had to come and journey alongside them in order to get them to the place where God was trying to get them. That's what therapy is. Someone coming alongside you to help you get to the next step of your journey. And so when we present the Bible in that way as faith leaders and as the church, we then make it okay to say, hey, you know what? It's okay to set up your Friday 3 o'clock appointment, to go sit down, to go walk, to go draw, to go sing, to go play, whatever type of therapy you are engaged in. Because we all need somebody to journey with, especially when we are dealing with our own challenges. Because like the young lady said earlier, when we internalize, it then becomes us against us. And everything gets filtered through our lens. Then we will find ourselves in this trauma loop of despair. So everybody needs somebody sometime.